Hi everyone, I am Kakarla Krishna Kishore, Professor in Mechanical Engineering. Today, in this session, we are going to discuss Marr tempering process. So, which is a heat treatment process. Anyway, we will discuss the details of Marr tempering process in this session. Now, let me discuss the details of Marr tempering process. What is Marr tempering process and how it is done. See, here, first of all, let me clarify what is Marr tempering. See here, Marr tempering means it is also known as the main name of the Marr tempering. The other names of the Marr tempering. So many other names are also available, which is a different from quenching process. See, in general, everybody thought that Marr tempering process is a general process with which we are going to get the martensite. No, it is not that process with which we are going to get the ordinary martensite. See, here this is a different Marr tempering, that is a separate heat treatment process with which we are going to get definitely a martensite but with a different property, with the required property. So that means with the enhanced properties of the martensite, we will get with the help of this Marr tempering process. So that's why this is a very advantageous process with which we will get definitely a hard structure, a hard material, but with different properties. So let me discuss all those details which under Marr tempering process. This Marr tempering process is also known as stepped quenching. The other name of this process or interrupted quenching. So that means we are not going to do the quenching that is continuously. So we have to interrupt the quenching process. So that's why this is named as interrupted quenching or the stepped quenching. The other names of this Marr tempering process is the stepped or the interrupted quenching. See, if you see the other name, that is the after interrupted quenching is seen, so we can clearly say that the quenching process may be interrupted. See, if you take the steel is heated above the upper critical point. So this particular point you have to remember when we are doing Marr tempering process. So above the upper critical point and then quenched in a salt, oil or lead bath kept at a temperature of 150 to 300 degrees centigrade. So that means at which temperature that we are doing Marr tempering process. 150 to 300 degrees centigrade we are doing this Marr tempering process, and we are keeping the material under sudden cooling. So here, so this is about Marr tempering process. Now let me discuss the details with the help of this image. See, this is a time temperature transformation diagram in which y-axis is temperature and the x-axis is time, and whatever the formations that you are seeing, all these are transformations. If you observe here, so this is the austenite that is above almost near to the critical line. So this is the critical line. So here near this austenite is formed here. The intention of martensite is if you adapt the ordinary cooling, so that will create a martensite that sometimes if you avoid cooling, so that may create perlite also. So to avoid all these things, that means perlite or bainite or any other thing, so we have to follow some procedure. First, observe the transformation diagram clearly. So this is the transformation beginning line. This is after 50% transformation. This is the transformation ending line. See here, this if you adapt the slow cooling, we will get perlite only. But if you adapt the cooling, that is a sudden cooling, sometimes we'll get barite. But here, at what temperature and what is the Marr tempering, which is different from the other process. So let me discuss the salient features here. And the workpiece, whatever the workpiece that you have to take is held at this temperature, means above martensite starting point, until the temperature becomes uniform throughout the cross section of the workpiece. So that means we have to keep the material above the martensite starting temperature. So this is the martensite starting temperature around 200, that is 230 degrees centigrade. Around this temperature, you have to keep the material and hold for a particular period of time. So that is the point here we are discussing here. After that, once it is kept at the temperature, after that it has to be cooled. At what environment it has to be cooled? So that is important here. It has to be cooled in air or oil to form a temperature, that is a to room temperature. So that means we have to cool in air or oil to room temperature. So then automatically the properties changes will be observed. And here the main property, the steel is whatever the property, that is whatever the heat treatment that we have completed here. After this particular heating is completed, then you have to, on cooling is completed, then you have to go for tempering process. That is very important. So in this process, austenite is transformed to martensite by step quenching. So that means what are the aust tempering process that we are discussing here. So here also we are going to get martensite, but in an ordinary process also we are going to get martensite only. But this martensite structure is different compared to the ordinary martensite. If you compare this martensite, this is by step quenching at a rate fast enough to avoid the formation. So that means you have to adapt the quenching process so that it is not supposed to form the ferrite. It is not supposed to form the perlite. It's not supposed to form the banite. So these are the three materials formations you have to add if you want to get the martensite in a proper manner. So that means here the cooling rate, the faster cooling rate, that too stepped cooling rate, plays a vital role in transforming austenitic structure into the martensitic structure with the modified properties here. You can observe here, this is the graph in which we are seeing some of the lines here. The blue color line shows at what time the temperature, that is the transformation, starts, and up to what temperature and up to what time the tempering process is desired. So this much time has to be taken. Some time is required for tempering process if it is desired only. So this area represents the tempered martensite. That means if after the process, the mart tempering process is completed, you can adopt the tempering process also. So that is not compulsory for all the materials, but depends on the material, depends on the structure that you got. You can go for the tempering process. But after mart tempering, tempered is preferred. But after os tempering, tempering is not preferred. But for this mart tempering process, tempering is preferred. Now you can observe this particular sentence here. This mart tempering process, austenized metal part is immersed. That means how we are doing this particular heat treatment process. So here, whatever the steel that you have taken, so you have to keep that material or immerse that material in a bath at a temperature just above the martensitic starting temperature. That means automatically what will happen? The austenized metal. So that means it will convert as a austenitic structure. And once it is converted as a austenitic structure, see, you have to go for quenching process that we have said earlier. That is by using interrupted. Here, what type of quenching process that you have to adapt? Here, the interrupted quenching is required to get the required properties. That means the cooling is stopped at a point above the martensite transformation region to ensure sufficient time for the center. See here, this particular sentence, that means you are going to keep the material at the temperatures that is above the martensite starting temperature region to ensure sufficient time for the center to cool to the same temperature above the surface. That means we are giving the time so that the surface of the material will get the same time and the inner material will also get the same time. So this precaution you have to take when we are doing mart tempering process. You can see here. So in this microstructure, these are the formations we'll get, and the other microstructure, the other area, if you see, this is a distorted structure, and here at some places the carbon content formations are observed, and here the metal, whatever the metal that you have taken, that is removed from the bath and cooled in air. That we have said in the earlier case, that is at to room temperature to permit. Why we are doing this particular process here? to permit the austenite to transform to martensite. This is the first point you have to remember. And Mark tempering, what are the process that we are discussing? This particular tempering process is method by which the stresses and strains generated. I repeat, the stresses and strains generated during the quenching of steel. See, in any quenching process, in general, lot of stresses will generate. Our point is, or our intention is to reduce those stresses. See, we cannot avoid the value of the stress and value of the strain that is resulted from the fuse stress. But after the stress is applied on the material, we can do some heat treatment process so that the material will retrieve its own properties. Here that process, that is one of the process in that is a Mark tempering process, in which heating is provided and after that cooling is provided in terms of steps here. And we can say that the Mark tempering steel is heated above the critical range here. That means to get the austenitic structure, at what temperature we are heating the material. So that is above the critical range. That particular point is important. But main drawback, the disadvantage of this process is the large sections cannot be heat treated. So that means we can give the heat to the material for smaller section people only. That means for the smaller, that is in size, if the production, that is the material is small, then we can go for this process. But if it is long enough, we cannot go for this Mark tempering process. That is the main problem, that is the drawback of this Mark tempering process. And you can observe in this structure, that is in the graph, here the structure formed at the bottom of the materials is martensite and austenite. Here this is the structure that we can observe after 50% of the martensitic structure is formed. And here the barite and martensite, and anyway this is the fine perlite. So depends on the requirement, depends on how much material that you want. You can go for the material and you can go for the particular process, depends on your requirement. So this is a Mark tempering process, and here the main important point is at which temperature you have to heat, at which temperature you have to cool. So these 2 points you have to remember. You can observe this is another cooling, that is a diagram, so in which transformation can be observed very clearly, at which temperature the austenite and perlite is formed. See, here the main intention is you have to take care of the temperature of the material so that the reduces, that means whatever the heat treatment process that you are taken, so that reduces the void, that means extra foreign materials or any, if any internal stresses are available in the material. So all these can be reduced by the particular process. But the thing is, we have to get the martensite but without say stresses. So that is possible only with the martensite. If you adopt the ordinary martensitic, that is ordinary procedure to get the martensitic structure, then we may get the material but with some extra stresses. But in this process, the main advantage of this martensitic process is we will get definitely the steel or iron or whatever, but or the martensitic structure if you observe under the microscope, but without internal stresses. That is the main advantage. That means we will get the martensite but without say stresses or strains or without any cracks that is in the future. So these are the main advantage of Mark tempering process. So this is all about Mark tempering process. In next coming videos we will discuss with another topic. So this is Kakala Krishna Kishore signing off. Thank you one and all.